There are people who came from the bottoms, bro.
Yeah.
And then became successful, bro.
Yeah, nigga, but Cassper came from the bottom, nigga. Oh, he came from the bottom.
Yeah, he never came from the bottom, man. You're just selling a narrative, man. Chief, I'm telling you, you must be smart. No, the guy is smart, that guy. Even this education thing, he cooked.
Yeah.
He told people he dropped out. He didn't tell people he went to a higher institution he made it seem like I just left and hustled music. He never told people.
I know I'm not the only one who just found out now that Cassper Nyovest went to tertiary. We all didn't know. We are hearing this for the very first time. The only story that we know is the story that Cassper Nyovest sold to us. Which means that guy is a marketing genius. That story worked for him. People, they supported him because they thought Cassper Nyovest came from the Bundus. Anyway, Cassper Nyovest didn't come from the Bundus. He didn't suffer. Like, he had parents that were working for the government. So that guy didn't suffer. So if he sold that story and it worked for him, salute to Cassper Nyovest, man. But let's continue watching the video, guys.
Is it more? Oh, yeah, but okay, obviously the story.
It's a nice story,
It's a
though.
nice story.
I've
Every rapper
learned
uses it.
this. Certain people use beautiful stories to push a narrative. Sometimes the narrative is not the truth. It's like us, if you say, hey man, we were starving, we got mics, next thing we this thing got, it's a beautiful thing to say.
Which we were, by the way.
Than saying,
We're eating Doritos, guys,
than saying, oh,
at the woods.
we just got a sponsor from Nike and they
Oh yeah, but
funded-
it's far more the reason why I respect AKA till this day, because he never portrayed himself as somebody who was struggling back home. He even said it himself. He went to good schools. The time I used to provide, etc. And it was still a beautiful story, dog, because he made a life for himself, and it was arguably one of the best
I
rappers.
love that narrative of pushing your own story. Like, tell it like it is, bro. Don't lie to us and say you grew up poor and you were suffering and whatnot. Bro, I'm speaking from experience here. When I first went to varsity, I came across guys who grew up nice, right? And I also had guys that I knew, or guys who I befriended that were from the same conditions as me, right? So you would hear, like, you could hear the English that these guys are speaking, right? It's different from the English that we are speaking, me and the other guys who came from, you know. So, hey man, like, it's very interesting listening to these guys, bro. Because, you know, their life experiences is totally different. Your future dreams is something that they've already lived. Like, you, whatever that you're dreaming of, changing life at home and whatnot, for them that's a past. It's something that happened, some of them before they even born, you know. So when we hear about people talking about life experiences of things that you think they're not possible, it's very interesting. That is why people watch movies. They watch movies so that they can see things that they don't really look like real. So when you listen to stories of guys who are rich and you are coming from a poor background, bro, it's very, very, very interesting, bro. Very entertaining at the same time. Because you're like, how is this possible? You know, it's very nice listening to these guys, bro. Telling you about their experiences, bro. So AKA did exactly that. He told the story of him, like the exact story. I grew up nice, I went to nice schools and whatnot. And people were fine because there's a demographic, bro. There are people who grew up like that. And they understand him. You don't need to fit into this narrative of poor black people so that you can now tell your story, so that people will follow you or understand you. No, that is wrong, bruh. Don't push a wrong narrative for people to support you. I know it works in terms of marketing because people who relate to that, it's just the poor people. And there are so many poor people than the rich people. Rich people are a minority, so people who will relate to your rich story and whatnot, it's only the few. But that's not the real reality. There are some poor people who would like to hear the rich people's stories. So people must stop this thing of trying to fit into the poor communities and I also suffered. Bro, if you've never suffered, you've never suffered. Bro, there's no problem with you being rich. Why are you now trying to create stories now? Amen. You know, that's why I loved AKA. AKA used to be real, bro. So, hey man, let's continue listening to the pros. There's something that I want you guys to listen to hear after this now. Listen to the pros now.
So if
But
not
what
the
do you?
best rapper
What
in South
story do you think is more relatable to the
Which
majority?
sells more?
Well, for the vast
For
majority,
a
yes,
rapper.
it is for that struggle, or I made it out the hood, the mud, and then obviously I blossomed. But what I'm saying is, a lot of rappers are using the same story, which is, well, for some of them, it's a lie, dog. That's why I will respect AKA in that regard.
And Dallas.
For owning, Dallas as well, owning where you're coming from. He didn't have to lie and say, "Nah, I'm from the streets." Imagine now the parents hear that in the songs now.
They'll be like, "Ah,
dog, I gave you a good life. I took you to
You
private
tell
schools,
them,
etc.
say,
No,
say it's
it's a
business.
bad look for
No,
them.
it's a bad look for
It's
them.
a bad look for them. Imagine
Now
now-
when when you're winning awards, they look at them.
Yeah, bro. So that's why I respect
But I
somebody
don't
who is
think
honest
people
and
look
truthful
at
about
you
where they
like
come
that.
from.
I think
Yeah.
your shine is too loud than us looking at the parents. Like I don't think when people see Cassper, they see his parents
I will
like
tell you, bro. If my old lady heard me say that, chief,
Ooh, it's going,
it's a problem,
yeah.
because it's a thing of like I'm trying to take away your
It's a
shine
personal
that you
insult to
pushed
her,
for me as well. Yeah,
And think
It is a
about the
personal
people who
insult.
know the parents.
and
the
think
parents'
about
peers.
guys, think about your parents. Number one,
I mean, my parents would understand. I would tell them, guys, I'm trying to do this. And they're like, okay. They wouldn't be too obsessed. If I explain to them, guys, I think for my career, this is the best thing to do.
I mean, it would be
they would
personal
take
for-
it.
for-
They
for
would
my
take
parents.
It
it.
would be personal, dog.
because bro, I think it's a blessing to be able to be proud of taking care of something, and then it blossoms. Then that thing says, "Yeah, I was alone, man." Bro,
I hear you.
You
Man,
get
shout
me?
out to the gents there, man. Shout out to the gents. Did you hear what they were saying there? You know, what I love about these guys, man, they've always been honest, bruh. They never lied about their upbringing, saying they were poor and whatnot. Bruh, they've always been honest to say we grew up nice. We went to nice private schools. We went to tertiary, boy, UP. We were doing nice, bro. We're living in the city, Pretoria, bro. You know, they're always honest. That's what I love about these guys. That's why I became an operator. It's because I love honesty. Imagine right now, there's a kid who's watching these guys, right? And then this kid now ends up aspiring to become like them, saying, I want to have a big podcast like these guys. I want to have this and that and that. I want to live the life that Mtho and them are living, right? Please calculate how is it possible, bro? How is it possible for a poor kid to make it to that level? Which podcast in South Africa do you know that is successful, but the person who's doing that podcast, like they came from the Bundos? There's no podcast in South Africa that is successful that is owned by a person or someone who grew up poor. There's no podcast like that in South Africa. Zero. Including the influencers, including the YouTubers that you know from South Africa. Most of those guys, or all of them, they grew up rich. And then now, imagine if there's a kid. These guys, they come and lie here and say, we grew up poor, and then now we end up being successful in this journey of social media and whatnot. That's a lie, and they shouldn't be pushing that narrative. Because this kid now will try their luck. They will try to do this, and they will be wasting their time. YouTube doesn't pay that much when you're still trying, it out, when you're still at the beginning phases of it. It doesn't pay that much. You will give up, just like so many YouTube. You know what I did last week? Last week I was searching for podcasts from all the provinces. Remember last week, Mtho and Sino and Lefa, they were talking about. Yes, they raised the topic of saying in KZN there are no podcasters and whatnot. And then I started searching, right? Bro, there are so many people who've tried this podcasting thing, right? They've tried it and they failed. They gave up at some point. You can go and search KZN podcast, Mpumalanga podcast, which is Limpopo podcast. Search like all the provinces, the province podcast. You will see how many people they've tried this. Even the YouTubers, people they've tried this. They think this thing it pays. They think these guys they are living off of YouTube money and whatnot. That is not true. You start getting the brands later. And while you are still trying to get the brands, while you're trying to get the audience for your YouTube channel, where do you get the money? So that is why I'm saying, in order for you to make it to the level of these guys, just try to rely on the real information than to just rely on the lies. The lies don't work in this industry. So all the time, just try to follow the real ones. I'm not trying to say give up or do something, you know. I'm not saying give up. But I love these guys because they're honest and they're real, you know. So try by all means to be real to yourself as well. Don't lie to yourself. Know where you're coming from. Know where you are at right now. So these guys, they're as real as they came. There's so many YouTubers here who are trying their luck and, you know, I'm going to make it one day. I'm going to be like, no, these guys, they had a financial backup from home. Your McGee's, they were famous. Your DJ Spoos, your Sizwe Mpofu Walsh, your Penwelly. Most of these podcasters, they grew up nice. They're living nice. If they were living nice even before YouTube. So you guys, try by all means to learn the reality of things. Don't try to lie to yourself. I don't know, man. I don't want to talk a lot, you know. Let me know what you think about this on the comment section. I will meet you guys in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe on the channel. Don't forget. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel, guys. And also, don't forget to like. And don't forget to share this. I would like to meet you guys on the comment section to hear what you think about this. Let's meet on the comment section, guys. Bye.